Okay, who here actually thought Yuga's duel robot would actually become plot relevant? Who thought that? Who? Because I have no problem saying that this was the last thing I expected. But when dealing with Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, just expect the unexpected, everybody. Sorry I wasn't here. I'm a little late with this in the Vanguard video. I was actually attending my first con in, like, forever this past weekend. Don't worry. Everyone was masked. They did social distancing. It was a little hard to keep that up during the orgy, but we made it work. Anyways, so in this episode, we begin thinking that it's going to be exactly what you expect. It's going to be the duel between Yuga and Luke. And what's interesting is they do things to set up that you think that's all that's going to happen. Like at the beginning of the episode, it's like, hey, it's nighttime. Wasn't it like the middle of the day, like last episode? What's it with card game anime and not being able to tell time? God. So, it's time for the big final duel between Yuga and Luke. They do their pleasantries at the beginning, get through the introductions. What I really like about the way the whole duel starts is there's no need to, like, add drama or seriousness, like to say Yugi and Joey's duel in Season 1, which, don't get me wrong, that's a good duel, but I kind of like the way the two sort of are going about this. They're not mad or sad that they have to face each other in the finals. They're excited. They're happy to get that chance to face off, to really be the best two men standing and deal with that. That's really cool, and I liked that. And then the duel starts, and you kind of get a different idea of where the episode is going, because Yuga fucking bricks. My boy, my man, feels the pain of all us combo players. He opens a suboptimal hand and has to just figure out how to fucking deal with it, just like the rest of us. This is something that always kind of just makes me laugh in card game anime. They just open the perfect hands all of the time. They always get their combo pieces, they draw everything they want, they do everything they need to do, and like, yes, it's a TV show, you need to show this stuff off, you need to make it look cool, but so often than not, anime decks are so barely functional. And remember, I play decks like Heroes, Thunder Dragons, Goki, decks where you play 3-ofs of everything and you still brick way more than you logically should. So to see him have to be put in that situation and figure out how to get around it and like just get to the next turn so he can draw and fix his hand is a very relatable moment, and it's kind of displays a good point at play here. Luke opens exactly how he wants to. He gets to drag ears. He's ready to attack. Go for the kill. And that's just kind of it. Meanwhile, Yuga had to set something up. He had to think more strategically. He had to be more intelligent. That's why Yuga is the protagonist and Luke, who's more of the sort of stereotypical shonen lead boy, and I know I've talked about this before, that's why he isn't. Yuga is a thinker. He's intelligent. He will always try and find his way to get out of a bad situation and turn it to his advantage. If Luke was in this spot and bricked that badly, he probably would have just lost. But Yuga is different, and it's a nice way of reinstating why he's our protagonist, because he is just more intelligent and more clever than everyone else. And that strategy to get to his maximum cards, yeah, that was legit good. Like, just being able to set up and get to the next turn, that is a big part of Yu-Gi-Oh! When you open badly, you don't just quit or scoop. I mean, sometimes you do. But a lot of times, if you can just figure out a way to get to the next turn, you just try and get to the next turn, because the card you need to turn everything around might just be the next card that pops up, and as we learned it was, because he freaking set up for the maximum. That was so fucking cool. He actually set up for the winning strategy. When was the last time you saw any protagonist do that effectively? So yeah, he draws his maximum cards, he goes to attack, but we do get a character growth moment for Luke. Luke had set up a trap. He had set up a way to get his ass out of trouble. That shows that Luke has grown. Like, yes, as I pointed out, he's not as intelligent as Yuga, but he's not the same just kind of dumb, loud idiot he was in episode 1. He has grown and is playing with more strategy. Where will the duel go? Who will win? Probably Yuga. But where's it all going? that then gets us to what logically you'd assume what would happen in the episode, but you were distracted because of what was going on with the duel, and that is that things start going haywire. Yep, that's right. Everything just starts shutting down. The power's going out. Goha, being just an idiot rich company, doesn't know how to deal with it. That's right. That's kind of the point of these guys, is that this is what corporations often do. They get so big, they're run by people who think they can't fail, so they just kind of get dumber and dumber as they go, and now you get that situation where everything's about to topple over and go downhill, and they're completely incapable to do anything about it because they never thought anything bad would happen to them. You know, too big to fail. But like on the other end, you have the cyber attack going from the two friends, the drummer guy, and all the others. I do like that little bit when, like, Nail is talking, and, like, Roa just, like, hears phone dial. He's like, hey, how's it going? And Nail's just looking at him like, I fucking hate this guy. That was funny. But then you then go into the fact that the Goha main server... First up, I love that the astronaut kids came back. Once again, I love that ability to just use random side characters and figure out how to work them into the plot. Always just clever. They use the Hubble telescope because I guess 70 years in the future, kids can use the Hubble telescope whenever they feel like it. Where we find out Goha put their main server on the moon! The fucking moon! There is a giant data bank on the moon in the Yu-Gi-Oh universe. How did it get there? Here's my theory. So, last time we saw the moon in Yu-Gi-Oh, Kaito went there to find number 100, where he had that actually pretty cool duel with, I forgot the guy's name, with the one, Don Thousand Servant. Why am I blanking on it? This is weird. He goes, and he duels, and he wins, but then he dies. He then doesn't pop up again to the last episode when Astral was able to bring him back to life. What if, on that spaceship, was early Goha technology? What if, when the dust had settled and everything was fine, and they realized that shit was on there, they decided to figure out how to use it to put their server on? That's right, I'm saying this. Goha goes all the way back to Zale. They were involved somehow with that thing. Does this sound convoluted? Go on fucking Reddit and type in Star Wars. You'll get much fucking worse. But yeah, no, the thing's on the moon, and, like, the dual robot is there. And, like, what I sort of thought when you see it is, because they do a good job of showing you there's a humanoid-looking thing in the middle of the server, but you can't make it out for a bit. I just thought the idea was going to be that, like, they sent up, like, an android or something to build it. But it's like, no, it turns out it's the robots. So this brings up many questions. Where did it come from? How did it get there? What is Yuga's relationship to the thing? Did Yuga imagine the thing? Did Yuga somehow create this thing and that's how it got there? Did someone, like, tell Yuga about it when he was little? Maybe someone implanted it in his head. Is Otis a big puppet master trying to take over the world? Is it a misdirect? I kind of feel like it, the bit at the end there with Otis and just kind of being like, massive takedown or whatever the fuck he said. That feels like a bit of a misdirect. I don't know. It just seems sort of like, this doesn't feel like the kind of show that would just have, like, a big villain pop up like that in the way it did. Like, my gut feeling is that Otis is not either responsible for this or he's not trying to destroy anything. I think there's more going on here, and I can't wait to uncover it. This is such a fun way to go about your plot. I remember early on when, like, Otis did the big info dump during the Roa duel, kind of being, like, unimpressed, but nah, this is fun, this is entertaining, I want to see what happens next. I need to see what happens next. But I asked this in the Vanguard video, but not everyone watches that, so just real quick, Target announced they'll be selling trading cards again, and I want to know, do you all want me to give an update? Because I talked about that before, and people liked that video. If you all want me to talk about that again, I'm sort of hoping Target would put out an official statement, but nothing has been said to us as of yet. But if you just want me to give my thoughts on where this could go, and if this is a good idea or a bad idea, spoiler, it's a fucking terrible idea, let me know about that below. As for the TCG question of the week, Tri-Brigade Zoo took over Yu-Gi-Oh! Extravaganza UK this past weekend. And I don't like this. I don't want Zoo being relevant. I don't like it. But My question to you, of the tier 0 decks we've had, or even if you just consider it tier 0, which deck would you like to see kind of take over again? I'm not going to lie. I always kind of wanted our number 95 toolbox, the E-Dragons at 1 format. It looked weird and different, but I get why it couldn't last. Tell me what you think about that below. And as always, click the like, click the subscribe, and join me next time for more Moon shenanigans.